Hi, Scott Orlin with CINEMA-Magazin, the new TV series, which some of you are already starting to watch. I know this much is true, and I am very fortunate that this much is true. I am here with the star, Mark Ruffalo. Mark, how much of the book had you read before that lent itself to this incredible performance you give?
Well, it's something that I optioned about 5 years ago. So I'd read the whole thing, and I thought it would be. I thought it'd be a real challenge. I didn't realize it would be the challenge that it ended up being. And so then I partnered with Derek C. in France and Film Nation, Glenn Bass and Ben Browning at Film Nation, and we took it around. And I just thought, I'm an Italian immigrant. My family are Italian immigrants. Oddly enough, my grandfather was a house painter. There's mental illness in my family. There were so many similarities to it, and of course, there's just always family dramas are just really ripe and something that's so universal to us all that I really responded to it and wanted to make it.
And it couldn't be coming at it a better time. I mean, here we are in this quarantine with this world pandemic, and you make this feel-good film that's just going to lift everybody's spirits. So,
if they stay with it, it will lift their spirits. But it's you never know when something's going to come out. I kind of feel like it's a moment in time where we're all feeling a lot of loss and uncertainty and we're all kind of really being forced to look at what's essential in our lives, and I don't know what's more essential than family. And I find it to be, and I've heard it from a lot of different people. They're very grateful because it's so cathartic. It expresses a kind of grief that I think we're all feeling at this moment in a safe way that is comforting in a strange way.
You had the incredible creative challenge of not only doing this one performance as Dominic, but then also as his twin brother, Thomas. I was wondering if you could talk a little about the physical and emotional breakdown for you, because most people are going to think that you just put on a fat suit and that was your way to get into the character, but you didn't. You filmed it twice.
Yeah. It was really important for Derek and myself to really create two performances that were unique to each other and not feel like I was, running off and putting a wig on or a mustache or, something to change it. And the only way, and I'd worked with HBO in the past and on Ryan Murphy's The Normal Heart, and they allowed us to stop for 6 weeks to let Matt Bomer lose all the weight so he could come back and play the sick version of himself. And so when I pitched it to Derek, he was very reticent about doing it because it's so hard to do twins and have it feel like it's really two separate performances. And I pitched the idea that we stop for a period of time, and I'd go away, and we'd shoot Dominic first. I'd go away, and I'd gain some weight, and I'd really take the time to get into that character and embody him, and then come back and shoot it. And that's what we ended up doing. I went away for 6 weeks. I gained 30 pounds. I immersed myself in Thomas's life and circumstances, and
What's your food of choice?
I was so excited because to do this, I lost 20 pounds to play Dominic, so that I wasn't gaining all that weight at 52 years old. My doctor's like, it'd be better if you're only gaining like 20 pounds instead of 30 pounds. And so I was on a 1,500 calorie a day meal plan for Dominic. So I was so excited to finally be able to eat some food. But all the things I wanted to eat, pasta and bread and French toast and just pie, all those things, they gave me terrible indigestion. And so I had I could only eat a few foods, and they were oatmeal with a half a stick of butter and lots of maple syrup and heavy cream, and and mashed potatoes, and I just turned into basically a bowl of mashed potatoes by the time it was all said and done. But it was tough. I had Derek calling me every day saying, "Hey, how much weight are you gaining?" I'm like, my stomach's a wreck. I can't eat. And yeah, we made it in the end.
Watching I don't want to give too much away, but especially when we get into like the second and third episodes, when Thomas is kind of institutionalized in a way, or at least taken away, it really made me think about how frustrating it is when you go against the system. I mean, some of us have a problem with our banks or with, the insurance company. Oh my God, when you get into something like this, what insight did it give you?
I mean, that these systems can be really dehumanizing. And there's, but they also knew how to take care of him. It's a tough position he's in, because part of him needs to really let go of his brother, and then there's this other part of him that just feels that is irresponsible. I mean, what I think the thing really does shine a light on is just how broken our healthcare system actually is, and how we mix mental illness. I mean, today, they don't even have many hospitals like the ones in the show. Reagan closed most of them down. Today, a person like Thomas would go into a prison. We're warehousing mentally ill people in our for-profit prison system, and that's I think that's one of the things that I really came away from understanding with doing the show.
If I can give you a hypothetical, if you could have an identical twin for one day, and everybody would believe it was still you, what would you want this twin to do that Mark can't do?
Press.
Is this really Mark? Is this really Mark?
Not with you, but just in general. I do the acting for free, but the press, it's just all the little things, probably. The things that, take me away from either. The two things that I really love is my family and my work, and anything else that takes me away from that needs my presence, my doppelganger can go do.
And a last quick question for you. Obviously, you gained such an immeasurable fan base from the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
And we all think that it's over now after the Avengers Endgame. Is there still an afterlife for the Hulk? Could we see you?
I want to believe there is, Scott. He is one of the only people that survived, creatures that survived, and so there's nothing in the works specifically right now, but I would like to believe that one day we're going to go back. There is some talk about maybe doing She-Hulk, but that seems that everything's on hold right now, so I don't know what's going to happen next. Well, I cannot thank you enough for sharing your time. Thanks, buddy. Try and catch this show. You get not one, but two great performances by Mark Ruffalo. Stay healthy and stay sane. Thank you, buddy. Until next time. Thank you.